Welcome to Sanderstead Cricket Club TV's Silly Point, the podcast that aims to take you guys behind the scenes of Sanderstead Cricket Club and in and amongst the wider cricketing world. Now, you can see beside me, left and right, I have two empty chairs. Well, joining me today, T, is of course none other than Dan Allen. Come in, Dan. I can't say other. None other than. None other than.
Hello, mate.
Dan Allen.
Great to see you. It's
Lovely
really
to
nice to be welcomed to my front room in my. It's nice. Hasn't happened before. Yeah.
Snooker room.
Snooker room.
It's not like any other front room.
Bit of cricket room. Some Wiston's bats, you know. Yeah, and.
That's lovely. Thank you for having us.
Play a bit of guitar as well.
Yeah, that might feature one day.
One day, not yet.
One day.
Not yet. Gotta learn how to play it. Anyway.
Another empty chair to my left.
Indeed.
The guest this week is... I don't really want to introduce him too much now, I'd like to get him on.
Okay.
His name's Lance Harris. So, Lance Harris.
Thanks, Harris. Club legend.
Good to meet you. Oh, really?
Modern day cricketer.
Thanks a lot.
Hello.
Daniel?
Yeah. So Lance Harris, the known as the Cornish Kohli.
Recently.
Recently, yeah. No, Lance is just for the viewers at home, Lance is a legend of the club. I think you came to the club in '93.
93, yeah.
And we all, it was great fun having you around. Lance is from Cornwall and likes his jokes. We played together quite a bit in the first 11 in the 90s and stuff like that, and then we sort of dropped down the 11s.
We got found out.
As you do, we got found out. And Lance is probably better, more well known as Matt Harris's father.
Yeah.
So the legend that is Matt Harris is fruit of your loins.
I'm living my cricket now through my son.
Yeah. Although I think you were slightly better batsman than him.
I bloody hope so.
and
field and catcher and scorer.
Yeah. He might have you on the bowling.
He'll have me on the bowling for sure. Yes. Yeah. And he's got a better arm than me.
Yeah.
In the bar and on the pitch.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Very good. Anyway, T.
Well, it's lovely to have you. I'm not sure how I feel about being sat in the middle today. It's like a game of tennis going on.
Yes, good.
Get neck ache by the end of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to start, much like our previous podcast, with the Sanderstead Cricket Club news. Dan.
What I've just taken some notes because thought the first thing we should do is just give a run through of last week's results. One's lost. That was away to Dulwich.
To Dulwich.
T, you were there?
I was there.
Brief run through?
We posted a total of around 130, which isn't the greatest. We would have liked more, but actually it was something we could bowl to on that track. And we gave it a good go. We had them 6 down on another day, could have been 7 or 8, maybe even bowling them out. But we just couldn't break through any further and ended up losing. But there were a lot of positives.
Excellent.
Sounding like a proper coach.
I you've always got to find the positives.
There were a lot of positives, so.
Yeah, good. What were they?
Yeah, list them.
T?
One?
Some good fielding.
Excellent.
Some good bowling up front.
Good bowling, yeah.
George and Jacko. George and Tricky.
Yeah.
Bowled really well up front.
Cool.
Everyone did something well.
Yeah, good.
Everyone did something well. Yeah.
Excellent. Twos, because I filmed the twos, that's films, it's available, link below. Got a winning draw against Old Wimbledonians. It was quite a turgid, it was a really tough day. It was very windy, damp, it was horrible conditions, and Wimbledonians just batted. It was a time game, they went the 55 overs and batted themselves out of a winning position really, and all we could do was sort of draw it. But we got the winning draw, which means we got more points than them, but it was a boring game. Boring game. Few of the guys. I mean, Johnny Longcock bowled well. He got 4 for 30 odd off 12 overs, which was really good actually. Cash got a sort of ground out, a sort of 40 odd. And then Keesey smashed it a bit, as did Johnny at the end. He hit a huge 6. It was more like a 9, it really was.
I think you said that in your commentary.
I think I might have done.
It before.
And yeah. And so the threes. Lance, you played in the threes?
Yes, so we played away at Woodmansterne, Grenere, what are they called? Woolcounty.
It was Chipstead, Coulsdon and Woolcounty.
Indeed.
So you played
They turned out
three teams.
33 players they had. Well, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
On a pitch that is more like a 100-metre running track, in that the long boundaries were extremely long and the short, square was extremely short.
You got a ton there last year, do you remember? One where you kept hitting that bloke for 6.
Yes,
tons,
I do remember.
You've got tons in most places too, haven't you? But so we batted first with not a particularly long batting order, but managed to scrape towards 190, and they came out, and it was a shame because we probably would have won it had their number 3 walked to a clear edge, and that was the difference between the two sides. He went on to make 75 in his second innings, and he should have been out for 10. Sadly, and we would have.
Was there an umpire that?
It was their umpire. He was good as gold though, but he had a hearing aid in, poor chap, and didn't hear it. He had a. Shall I say that again?
This
he had a hearing aid in and didn't hear it, and everybody else did.
Yeah.
Even their players on the.
He's always right though, as the umpire.
Of course, he's always right.
Yeah.
We didn't
Even when
say
he's
much.
wrong.
Even when he's wrong, he's right.
Yeah. There you go. So we lost.
Oh well. And the fours won.
I don't know.
Yes.
Did they win?
Yes.
Who
yes.
cares?
Yes. The fours won. But
I'll be with you soon.
I can't remember how. I think I don't know. We got some runs that they got less.
Yeah.
Or maybe the other way around.
It was on the wreck as well.
Yeah.
So
Bob Longcock got 3 wickets.
Oh, a lot of wickets for the Longcocks.
Yeah, a massive.
A lot of wickets for the Longcocks.
Massive celebration in the Longcock house on Saturday night. It must have been 7.
How did they celebrate?
A collection of codger
some
achievements.
absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
What is the Longcock celebration?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
They might eat some food.
I'm sure they would eat some food. Yeah. Anyway,
in a new restaurant opposite Grand.
Ah, yes.
Which we might
it's possible.
I've
speak about one day if they
yeah.
sponsor us.
Yeah, they probably have some. I don't know, eat some sausages or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sunday game again filmed. Lost to Blindley Heath. It was classic village, real village stuff. I won't go.
I could sum it up in 2 words. I think. Boring.
Village.
Thriller.
A boring thriller. Yes.
Yes. It was not that entertaining for quite a lot of it, and then out of nowhere it became the closest game with a lot happening.
It did. It was the last sort of 7 or 8 overs were quite exciting, and
very exciting.
And Matt did really well. Matt almost won us the game.
Yeah, I saw the catch he dropped off Lucy.
Yes, he dropped an absolute sitter.
Although at the stage it wasn't too critical because it was early in the
That's actually why I'm sat in between.
Yes,
Sun
dancing dads. Yeah, but it got better as the series went on. That game, didn't it?
It did. As you say, the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes of
like the Game of Thrones, I suppose, in cricketing terms.
Probably. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
haven't watched it. So that's the cricket action. I've got a bit of Pulfors news. We talked last week about Pulfors having a baby daughter, Evelyn, and all was great. And she was up at the ground on Sunday having her first taste of the sawmill.
That made her first Sanderstead TV appearance, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, she did indeed. But Pulfors, because he's now on paternity leave, he sent a note around today, he's available for golf.
Oh!
Yeah, so...
Every cloud, eh?
Yeah, every cloud. So Pulfors taking his paternity situation very responsibly, and in his own words,
we'll get
Mrs. Pulfors has had enough of him, and so he's now got to get out of that house.
Super. Can I jump in there?
Please do.
Codgers. You were both on the Codgers golf trip to France.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Can we say anything?
Yeah.
How was it?
Well, it was great. I mean, Lance, you organised the trip, as you always do.
As I always do. I think the quality of the golf courses was superb.
Magnificent.
The company was superb.
Magnificent.
The catering arrangements...
Complete shambles.
Was a complete shambles, which...
Who organised that?
I did.
Yeah.
That wasn't part of the script.
But you tried.
But I was very trying, yes. But yeah, all went off really well.
Yeah,
And
it was great,
Tommy,
it was
it was Tommy's stag 3 months after
Tommy
the
is
wedding.
just for the viewers. Tommy Sherlock is a stalwart of the club, and him and his brother and sister are the trustees who essentially own the ground that we play on. We will get Tommy on here. He's a very entertaining chap, so we'll get him on at some point.
Oh, I think so.
But yeah, it was his stag weekend. He got married a few months ago.
They're going to announce their first date in a few weeks' time, apparently.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and he's Tommy's a bit old for stag weekend, but he's our age. So, but we had great
fun.
We had
Great
great fun.
Good. Is there a standout moment?
We
from
did, well,
each of you?
there was a moment, I thought, when we were going over in the Eurotunnel, we were trying to set up a studio to do a little bit of...
Yeah, we were going to try and do
podcast on the road.
We were going to try and do
But an
Roger's
officious
podcast.
health and safety fella thwarted our efforts.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to. Yeah.
We weren't allowed to set a studio up and do a bit of work. But hey,
Although we did play some golf on the Eurotunnel.
yes.
Yeah, Hainsey
And
got
it was
the golf
filmed,
club.
I believe. I
Yeah,
think it was
filmed. So we might put a little clip of that in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think Tom Pulfer's The New Baby Evelyn, best delivery of the year.
Ah, very good.
No,
Very good.
nice. I see what you did there.
Excellent.
That's for you, Tom.
Excellent. Super. So that's my news. You got any news?
Not particularly.
Team news. I see we've got next Saturday. The Wands are away at Dorking.
Yes.
I've decided, I've been sort of mulling where to go this weekend, but I'm going to go to Dorking. So I'll film that. A couple of reasons. One, it's a lovely ground.
Nice track.
Sometimes it's an okay track. Sometimes it doesn't last, but it's a lovely ground in the foothills of Box Hill. So there'll be plenty of scenery action on display. They've got certainly one, possibly two, sort of near first class players playing for them. So Bradley Erasmus will be playing, and don't know about Dan Douthwaite. I think he's signed up with Glamorgan. He may not be there, but
Yeah.
so they've got a very top quality side, and I think we're looking good. I mean, we've got some players back. Yoda's back in the Wands.
Yeah.
Shaka, the keeper, who I haven't seen
Yes.
play yet.
Yeah,
Really
keeper.
exciting prospect. So he's playing his first league game, and Esmat Zadran is back in. Esmat is the guy who hit 130 against us a couple of years ago, including something like 16 sixes. So
Yes.
I do want to be there when he does that again, hopefully for us soon. So that's
Could be the return of T's as well.
we haven't done
We
a
haven't
T's.
had one in a while.
Exactly. So we're definitely
depending on my mood mid innings.
Oh yeah, because you can get a bit stroppy,
Yeah.
can't you?
Stroppy,
I think you should
reflective. Reflective. is
Yeah,
the word.
indeed.
Reflective.
But you
It's
should
very
reflect
moody.
your
Yeah.
mood through your choices that you make.
Interesting.
So go for more dour sandwiches with perhaps a curly edge.
Nice,
You know?
nice, and just sort of boring
Yeah,
dour cheese
indeed.
sandwich. No frills, no sweets,
That's right.
no crunch.
No vibrant pizza for you.
Oh, I don't know.
Unless you're going out to bat, of course. Then you might
Well, this
think,
is
oh,
it.
I'm going to get
Yeah.
motivation
Well,
from this
hopefully
culinary
we field first. then.
creation.
If we field first, T's is going to be better and a bit less miserable.
Yeah, nice.
Is that you banking on me getting no runs?
Yeah.
No, you didn't get runs this
It's
week.
always good
You-
to
you
Play
played
with
with
like 10 runs.
Well, I hope you do.
Well,
anyway.
you had it here. It's going to be back.
Yeah,
Whatever the
excellent.
weather.
Excellent.
Whatever the weather.
Yes. Soup. In this weather.
Indeed.
Have we ever had soup at a cricket game? I don't think I have ever had soup. Certainly not for tea.
I think I've had a
I've never
chili.
seen it.
I think I've had a
Yeah, I've had
chili for tea.
No, like a con carne.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, yeah, no, I've
That
had
would be
some
nice.
chili.
With a
Cold
French
day.
loaf on the side.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Quite
went
hockey
on-
that.
Yeah, I know.
I
A
in
number
the
of
winter,
hockey
yeah.
finishes, yeah.
In the winter, you would have, but after the game, that would be.
After the game, yeah, and you just want something to warm your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Cornwall, when we were on tour, do you remember? We played at Falmouth and they brought out pasties
Of course, yeah.
for tea.
Yeah,
Not
What
one was
else?
left. Not
Really?
one was left.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, I would
Right,
like you
so-
to make some pasties.
Yeah, I
when we
make
went horse
pasties.
racing and you bought the
Yeah,
pasties.
remember?
Oh,
Boxing Day
glorious.
pasties.
That's it.
What do you have
Very,
in a
very
pasty?
nice.
What are the main ingredients of a pasty? Without, going
Yeah.
in too depth.
Well,
Also,
I want to share this with the world
Yes.
because what doesn't
Everyone gets it wrong, don't they?
what it doesn't go into a pasty viewer is carrot. Don't ever say to a Cornishman,
Yeah.
"Oh, a lovely pasty, and I've got carrot in it. So
has anyone ever said that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah, and it often leads to violence west of the Tamar.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So what goes into it? Some half decent meat.
Yes.
Called skirt, ideally, which is an odd cut from a hind quarter.
Of what animal?
A cow.
A cow.
Yeah, meat from a cow.
I was wondering.
A potato, which comes from the ground.
Whole potato.
Well, you know, diced and sliced.
Okay.
Tyler,
Of course.
And something we call turnip, or you might call swede. There's a bit of an odd crossover.
Well, there are two different things.
I know,
Sweet.
but ours are like an orange one with a purple skin. Now you would call that a swede.
Swede.
We call that a turnip.
Do you?
Oddly.
Even though it's a Swede.
Exactly.
Funny.
These
Cornish people are a bit odd, aren't they?
Yeah, and then
Say
onion.
turnip again?
Onion, turnip.
Turnip. I like
Turnip.
Nice.
Turnip. And an onion, diced all up,
Yeah.
pastry all,
Yeah.
rolled out,
Yeah.
and mixed in,
Yeah.
knob of butter, folded and crimped,
And they crimped. It's a good
That's
word.
key.
Great word.
Crimped.
The
Makes
crimping.
it-
and then
Yeah.
in the
Crimping
oven.
is the thing.
Bit of egg or
Yeah.
milk on top just to
Egg or
glaze.
milk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you make your own pastry?
No.
Because I've watched a
No.
number of cooking shows and they say waste of time.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
roll out one,
Yeah, you just buy
Yeah.
bang.
£3 up your local
Yeah, that's it.
and job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we often dine out, or dine in, I should say, on Lance's homemade pasties,
Yeah.
which is a series I'm developing soon for another
Really?
competitive podcast provider.
Okay. Best of luck with that.
It won't be as good as this.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Sure it will if it's
Yeah,
good.
there you are. Pasty news.
Pasty news.
There you go.
Excellent. Excellent. Good.
Wonderful. Well, there's a brief insight onto your Cornish life.
Yes.
However, we did mention 1993 you came to Sanderstead. You've held, I think, a number of roles at the club, or a couple in particular that stick out in my memory.
Yeah.
Do you just want to let everyone know who you are?
So, like Dan said, 1993 we first met,
Yep.
and I had a game for the threes, which I scored 28, and another guy,
Good.
in my debut on the Rex, another guy scored 43.
Oh yeah.
Next week I'm in the twos on promotion.
Yeah.
He's still in the threes, and I said to the twos captain, why is he not in the twos this week? He scored more runs than me, and I've been elevated to the twos. And he said, he'll never play the twos as long as he's got a hole in his backside.
Excellent. Who was that? Or
No, I can. It's the legend of the time, of the 90s, Steve Marsh.
Ah, big Steve Marsh.
Steve Marsh.
Yeah, they love him here.
They love him. So subsequently, you and I played for the twos, and the following week, we were playing away at Purley, and we had a captain who, in the pre-match build-up and team talk, you said, no, you're not captain anymore. I'm captain today.
Yes, it was my first coup.
It was, it was Dan's first coup at the club. And I thought, I've joined the Redneck Cricket Club here.
Yeah. No, it
was all a bit
necessary,
wild.
But,
Yeah.
And then we ended up in the ones.
We went up in the ones. Well, obviously
Right,
you
right.
because of your bowling and all that, and
Yeah.
me just to kind of shore up the rafters a bit.
Yeah.
And
No.
Made the team.
You're a very talented player. You
Oh.
you got many runs. You
cameo. I was more of a cameo.
Cameo player. You've had a few tons as well.
Yeah. I had to keep wicket for the ones as well.
Yes, you did, didn't you? Is that
To
how you got in?
urinate. Yeah, because there was nobody else
Yeah.
around chiefly.
Right.
But I enjoyed it in the ones in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then the twos for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah.
I sired two sons, which thwarted my cricketing.
Golf got better there, didn't it?
Yeah,
all
my
that,
golf.
all that alternative.
Bit of a golf. Yeah, like so I've got the Tom Palfrey model going on.
Yeah, no, I benefited from paternity. Three I had, you see, so
Yeah.
quite a lot of golf.
Indeed. And then just returned to cricket, a few years after.
Yeah.
And then, here I am now propping up the threes and a bit of fours.
Yeah. Well, still
Like dads
going
do.
at your age.
A number of.
Yeah, age 60 next year.
Yeah, see, look at that now. That's made the viewers sit up and take notice.
Suddenly it's interesting.
This man is nearly 60.
Yeah.
So well done for being a very active playing codger at your age.
Thank you very much.
Hits the golf ball a long way as well.
Well, straight
play
more than long.
8. Yeah, plays golf off 8.
Yeah,
Great.
but I'm a civil servant, so I've got plenty of time in the week to practice and play, as everybody thinks too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
You also did a lot off the pitch as well.
Well,
quiz nights and
there was the
emceeing and all that jazz.
of all that stuff. But thankfully it's been taken on by much more talented
Anyone you know?
people now. Yeah, the boy Tyler, the boy Ward here, my protege, and James, of course. James Jallen. Yeah. So I had a few years of that, of people getting bored sick of me emceeing, and thankfully you boys came along and pick up the reins.
Got the call to do it again this year as well.
Brilliant.
So Jallen and myself. Yeah.
Excellent, good.
Yeah, rightly so.
But earlier this year, wasn't it?
Bit early,
October.
October 12th, I think.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Good. So yeah, that's a bit about me actually,
Yeah.
and here I am, still, and bizarrely, I've played cricket for 43 years at the top.
Top of what?
Well, I started playing men's cricket when I was 15.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can describe it as being at the top still now,
Uh-huh.
but here I am 43 years later, and with the same level of enthusiasm as when I started playing when I was 15.
Well, that's great to hear. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of sort of lost my enthusiasm.
You're still quite involved in the game, though.
Oh, involved in the game, but as a player, you're talking about playing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I, when I sort of couldn't quite, the body couldn't quite do what the head wanted it to do. I got very frustrated and sort of, didn't enjoy the journey down the 11s. But you've managed to.
I share that frustration of thinking, if it ain't straight to me, I ain't stopping it, and I ain't running after it, and my arm is like a,
Well, you could have said that 40 years ago.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I that does frustrate me, but and my batting is limited to about 3 shots now.
Okay.
And one of them is through the gate.
Yeah.
So sadly,
it's useful. No one sets a field for that.
no, you try it. I don't think you need to be honest. But if I could just pass on some tips to young cricketers.
Yes.
There's some principles that I've always stood beside as batting.
Yeah.
And I developed this myself.
Why don't you tell the young people, the young viewers out there?
Yeah. So listen, young viewers, boys and girls, listen. There's 3. The principles I've stuck by when batting are the 3 S's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tyler, any thoughts? What could the first S of batting be?
Sledging.
No, sledging's for Australians and
Straight
is good, but it's not. It's part of the armoury, but it's survival.
Yes.
You can't score runs back in the hutch.
No,
you know that,
that's
Tyler.
true.
Yes.
That's true.
I'm a batsman that was. We can't score runs back in the hutch. So you've got to survive.
Well, if you know that, how come you're so often back in the hutch?
That's cruel.
Come on, didn't mean it. It's
Come
not
on.
true. Not true.
Right.
So assess the situation, the bowling, the track, the game, where it is.
Yeah.
Do I just stay out here and stick around? So that's surviving.
Mm-hmm. Surviving.
The next one is the obvious one, what all batsmen like to do. and
Swing.
Slogging.
Why? You're a quality batsman, a slogging. What am I doing here? Well, it's scoring.
Oh,
You've got to score runs.
Yeah.
If you're a batsman, you can survive, but no, that ain't going to bring the crowds back.
No, right.
Just staying, out there. So you've got to score.
Yeah.
Keep the scoreboard ticking over, as we've often heard, and teasing a few boundaries now and then. And the last one can only happen if the first 2 are in place. Begins with S. So you're surviving,
Smacking it around.
scoring runs. No, there's nothing about smacking and swinging. Style.
Oh, style.
Style.
Now,
you're a style. Yeah. Well, thank you, Dan. That's fine. You're a stylish player.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
There's guys at our cricket club, and viewers, you'll have seen them on Dan's filming. Stylish cricketers.
Yeah.
So that's all of that. That's when you start enjoying yourself. Scoring runs. You're not taking the mickey out of the bowlers. You can though, with a little reverse sweep now and then, Tyler, and all that. But so let's recap. The 3 S's. sledging,
Slogging.
slogging, and
Smacking it around.
Smacking it around.
Very
Teamwork,
good,
kids.
very good.
Have that.
The 3 S's. That's very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Take that into on
Oh,
Saturday.
I will. I'm going to write it on my gloves.
Yeah.
Well,
And then the third one, someone else.
yes. Well, if it's a small word, perhaps you could. Good.
Well, that was a
good insight.
that was very good.
Yeah.
Do you have any superstitions when you play? To go with
Oddly,
superstition?
no. I don't have superstitions, although that begins with S as well. But what I do have, and I've developed them, I think, in the codger years, is some whinges about cricket. There's things that have developed over the last few years. I never used to think like this, but I do now. And it's not a wish list. I call it a
Whinge
whinge list. Yeah,
of course.
exactly. Can I just refer to it because it's quite lengthy?
Yeah.
Please, please.
Here it is. Right.
Cut off in about 2.5 minutes.
Okay, this is the first thing that gets on my nerves
Yes.
now. And when the oppo huddle,
Oh, the huddle. You don't
the
like that.
bloody huddle. We're playing club cricket. Now, I'm in the threes, I'm in the stiffs, and we've batted. We're going to clap them in as they come in for tea. They're out in the middle in a huddle.
Yes.
Get off the pitch and let's go for tea, you
Very
fools. Right, here's one. Kids sledging, particularly
wrong.
wicket
Yeah,
keepers.
because they're not very good at it, are they?
Well, they're rubbish. They're 15 years old. I've queued up longer in the tea room, than they've been playing cricket for their lives, and they're chirping away. And you think, really, mate? You're 15 years old and you're sledging me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
David,
Young viewers out there, what do you think?
I'd like to know.
I'd like to know some
because
good
it
sledges as well.
really doesn't work. It really. Okay, the third one is an obvious one. David Warner.
Yes.
Nothing more to say. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah.
Australian fans, what do you think?
Yeah, and that beard he's got, was he hiding behind that now in a hope that it'll disguise him and we can sandpaper it off? Yes. Right, nearly there.
Yeah.
Here's a complete waste of time in cricket.
Yes.
The signal for dead ball.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
What's the point? Everyone knows.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Okay. And last one, here's something that's a new phenomenon. The LBW review system on television.
Yes.
Where did it come from that the third umpire goes, can we rock and roll that? What the? This ain't the Stones at Wembley.
No. I mean, I've got an answer. It's pretty dull, but it's a TV editing term. When you're trying to find that particular point to cut the edit, you rock and roll it. It's an editing term.
Yeah,
That's where they got it from. But
I appreciate that, but not within our glorious game.
Yeah.
And the old boys are saying it. They're retired 60-year-old cricketers like me saying, "Let's rock and roll."
Yeah, well, I think there is a link between rock and roll and cricket, and it's one that I would at some point like to explore more.
Yes.
And we'll do that in another week. Yeah.
If you listen to Kerry O'Keefe's story when he was at Lord's with Mick Jagger,
yes,
that is an incredibly funny story.
Yes, very funny
delivery. It brings the two together.
Very funny guy. Kerry O'Keefe.
So yeah, that's
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would that have annoyed you 40 years ago?
What?
Your whinges.
No,
You have whinges
no, that's the
40 years
point.
ago.
I mean,
This
some
is
of them
you
are
in
a
your
product
old
of the
age.
modern era.
Yeah.
David Warner,
Yeah, absolutely.
obviously.
Rock and roll.
The rock and roll stuff.
Yeah.
Sledging, young kids sledging.
Yeah.
There's no space for that. Have a joke with the oppo and say something that's mildly amusing.
Yeah.
But don't say what are you doing here, mate.
So sorry, you mentioned something about Mick Jagger and a funny story.
Yeah.
We mentioned last week on our podcast for you guys to send in cricketing stories. There's been some very good ones in the comments.
Really good stories.
Thank you for that. And one that we've selected, and I think
Nice.
Dallan's going to read it out for us.
I'm gonna try. So this is from Alex Suller, I think it would be how you pronounce it. So I'll just read it. So even if all our games hadn't been washed out, I still couldn't have played thanks to a ball-on-ball accident in the nets that resulted in pain and enormous swelling, and a night in hospital having to display the family jewels to all and sundry. The peak of the experience was a very attractive lady radiologist telling me how her husband and brother both play for teams in our league, as she slathered my whatnots in gel and applied the ultrasound device. Luckily, no rupture, but not sure when I'll be back in action, as I need a box the size of a fridge. Beautifully poetically described story. Wonderful there, wonderful there. And I hope he'll be back in action, I assume he means on the cricket field. And elsewhere soon. So thank you very much for that story.
Good work, Alex.
Yeah, thank you for that. We're almost there, I think. I think it would be good to finish off with a game, something hopefully a little bit more enjoyable and entertaining than Long Cock to Long Cock. I think the name was the best part of that game.
But it was silly, so we liked it because it was silly.
Yeah. And I've
Rubbish,
thought
silly.
of loads of things bigger than Long Cocks. No, just Long Cock.
There are a lot of them about. There are a lot
This
of
is
things.
better than the last week's Long Cock. Long Cock.
Yeah. Anyway, the game is called Stumped.
Stumped. Seems to fit on Silly Point.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Cricketing related.
Yeah.
Lance,
Okay.
tell us about the game.
So it's a one-question quiz, and I'm going to pose it to the chaps here. And viewer, just come in with your ideas later on. So, chaps, cricketers whose name could also be an illness.
Okay.
I'll give you a couple to get the ball rolling, and then you might come in.
Very good.
So, Andrew Stress, for example.
Oh, I see. So you're changing the name.
Yeah,
Okay.
and his opening partner, Jonathan Trotz.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
He actually had the trots on
He
one
did,
of his
didn't he?
on
tours.
Aussie tour, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got some others if you're struggling yourselves.
James Boyling.
James Boyling, very good.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Athletes, foot it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Who's he?
Mark Foote.
Oh, Mark Foote. I see.
I see what you've done there.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not right.
It wasn't as good as the one you did in rehearsal.
Have we rehearsed this?
What was that one?
But doesn't it look like it?
No, it doesn't look like it.
Dementia. No, Mascarenas.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
Or
good. Yeah.
Dementia Martin. Damien Martin.
Oh, Damien Martin.
No, yeah. There might be the
2005 Ashes.
Yeah,
we know
Damien Martin.
Yeah, we know who he is. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, just a couple to finish for me. Rory Burns,
Ah,
of
that's a
course.
good one. That's a proper one.
Virat Kohli,
Virat Kohli. Yes.
one for
See
the
that?
youngsters.
Yeah.
And lastly, Ben Stokes.
Ah, Ben Stokes. Yeah.
That's all we got, viewer.
Yeah. Excellent.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Well, if you've got any ideas, comment below. Do you know any others?
No, I haven't, but I'm sure the viewers will.
Yeah,
so
of course they
And far better
send
than
them
what
in.
we've done.
They couldn't be any worse.
That took me for ages to impulsively think of.
Oh dear. Excellent.
Perfect. Well, I think that's probably us done. Thanks, Lance.
Pleasure being here,
joining
chaps.
us.
Loved
Hope you had fun.
No, thanks, Luke.
Loved being in the dining
In the
pavilion.
the snooker room. I think.
the snooker room.
Excellent.
We'd love to have you back if you ever want to come back.
Of course.
Super.
Yeah, and she plays enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Anyway.
etc.
You can find us on Sanderstead Cricket Club TV's YouTube channel, that's a highlights package. You can find us on Sanderstead Cricket Club's Silly Point, that's a whole other YouTube channel with the full length podcast. You can also find us on SoundCloud. Again, if you search for Sanderstead Cricket Club's Silly Point or something like that.
We'll put links. Links will be below in the
Links
description
are always
section.
below.
Links are going to be there.
We hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks again to Lance.
Thanks, chaps.
Thanks of course to Dan.
And thanks, of course, to T.
Big T.
And
Peace out, guys.
yeah, rock on Saturday.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll on
Roll.
Saturday. Love it.
Free your legs.
Oh yes, that's gone for 4. Dell's going to be livid. Let's look at Dell. Oh, a double teapot. A double teapot from Dell. That's magnificent.
I don't care, I just want to get home.
Right.
We didn't do a funny end.
We're doing it now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we're doing the funny end now. What
Well,
is it? What are you going to do?
Well, I thought one of us was going to kind of get up and do something funny.
Go on then.
That was it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Remember, like Long Cock did.
Close the play. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think Longcock's still actually.
He's still on the
ground
tractor.
side. He still hasn't got that.
You could perhaps you
He's
could
still there.
cut that in.
That was good. And,
Right, chaps.
thanks to Pilgrim Brewery for the water.